Times of the Heart Tarot. I'm Miss Vicki, and I'm going to use the tarot to see if we can gain more insight into unsolved mysteries, deaths, and disappearances. I also want to thank Miss Amanda for asking me to join her wonderful Afterlife Adventures family. If you haven't watched her amazing Spirit Box sessions, you need to start now. She is truly gifted. Let's get started. Welcome, Truth Seekers. Today I'm going to do a reading for Daniel Robinson. He's a young man who disappeared June 23rd, 2021. His Jeep was found almost a month later, turned over in a gully, wrecked about 3 to 4 miles from his job site in Buckeye, Arizona. We're going to try and contact him and find out what happened to him. I've asked my spirit guides to give me true and direct and clear messages through the cards, and I've surrounded myself, the cards, and my viewers with the white light of truth and protection. All right. I'm going to start with the Infinity Oracle cards, just to see what direction we need to be thinking, what they have to say. I've shuffled all the cards, so we should get some good answers. It's just a big mystery what happened to Daniel. No one's found him yet. Nobody knows what happened to him. We hope maybe we can get some answers. I don't know. Oh. All right. We have soulmate, twin flame, and push and pull energy. He was involved with someone, a woman, who supposedly was the love of his life. But who told the police that she was being stalked by him. All right, we've got soulmate, inner child healing, healthy boundaries, twin flame, push and pull energy, and stuck. Well, some of that probably applies to him. I'm not sure. I'm going to leave these up here for now. We're going to pull a few cards from the Tattoo deck, see what they have to say. Oh. I'm going to put quite a few down here. He'd been a happy child. He had gone to school and finally got his degree in geology, and had been, I'm not sure how long he'd been in Arizona. He had his degree for a couple of years. All right. And had a happy childhood by all accounts. He had a handicap. He was missing his right hand, but it didn't seem to stop him. He was happy-go-lucky. He got along well with people. He didn't seem to have a lot of problems until he went to Arizona. Okay, we have some reverse cards. We've got the King of Wands. We've got the Two of Swords. The King of Wands is a powerful man, someone who has lots of fire and energy and is very successful. Reverse, it can be somebody that's not somebody you really want to cross, can be difficult, can really hurt you if you get in his way. The Two of Swords reversed. Two of Swords upright means making a decision or trying to make a decision and putting it off. It's actually a stalemate. It's about deciding between two things. Reversed, I would say it means probably not even trying to make a decision, just doing what you're doing, feeling stuck. Usually upright, it's a temporary thing. I think in reversed, it means permanently feeling stuck. We have the Death card, upright. The Death card usually means transformation, going on to something new. It can mean death. Try to put it where you can see. It shows the skeleton and the maiden, tears, roses, going beyond the gate to a new, looks like a sunrise to me, but it could be a sunset. And it's next to the World reversed. The World upright is having a closure. It's having done your life, having fulfilled your cycle. It's usually a positive card, and you're ready to go on to the next thing. Reversed and with death, it means to me that he wasn't ready to go on to the next thing. He couldn't move on. He was involved with this woman, and it was the death of him, I think. All right, the next card. The Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is someone who's done the work and is kind of waiting for the results. It's a card of having done very hard work, planted the seeds, and you're waiting for the results. Well, this one is reversed, the Three of Wands. So it shows that he basically was planting the seeds, did the work, but he wasn't waiting for the results. There was nothing coming. I get the feeling he was really stuck. He really felt stuck. The next card is the Five of Cups, upright. It shows a woman crying. 3 cups are spilled. The other 2, see if you can see that. The other 2 are full of flowers, but she doesn't see them. She only sees the 3 spilled ones, and she's walking away in sorrow. Then we have, wow, the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior card, they call it. This is someone who's done the battle, standing his ground, fighting everyone off, but this is reversed again, lots of reversals. It shows that he's basically given up, that he's done the battles, fought off all comers, and he's basically not been successful. This is these cards right here are really telling me something about Daniel. I don't know who the King of Wands is reversed. It could be someone he knows. It's an older man. Reversed means all the attributes of the King of Wands is negative. It's an older man that's negative is what I get. Let's pull a few more cards and see what happened to Daniel. This is pretty sad so far, and I think it really reflects his state of mind. I think he felt defeated. I think moving to Arizona had been difficult for him. He'd always been, I don't want to say sheltered, but his environment had been positive at home. He'd have his loving family. His father was very supportive. The people around him, school, everything I've read or heard about him was he was doing great. He was happy-go-lucky. And I think it all changed when he moved to Arizona. I think he was like a fish out of water. I think the handicap was a problem because a lot of people aren't very positive to people with handicaps sometimes. Some people are, but A lot of people aren't. I think this woman, whoever it was that he met, I've heard a lot of rumors, heard a lot of stories that he was delivering through Snapchat, met her, she invited him in, she'd been drinking, he was delivering alcohol to her. She invited him in to parties, quote unquote, but I'm not sure what that means. The police said that apparently she'd had sex with him, and by partying, I'm not sure if that means drugs. It means alcohol, I'm sure, because that's what he was delivering. And Daniel didn't have a drinking problem that I know of. He had a level head until, it seems like, until he moved away. I think part of it was being away from his family, feeling alone, not having the support system close. He was still in touch with his father, but his father couldn't coddle him forever, and I don't think he wanted that. He wanted to strike out on his own. All right, let's see what we have here. We have lots of reversals. Okay, we've got the Six of Cups, which is actually longing for things in your past, a happy childhood, children. Reversed, it kind of means the opposite, that you aren't. I think in his situation, it meant that he wasn't getting the happy support that he'd had. He didn't have that happy, lucky go happy feeling anymore. He was on his own. He was an adult. He knew that. But it wasn't what he dreamed of. This wasn't his dream. Then we have the King of Swords. King of Swords in reverse. King of Swords is truth. It's swift action. It means someone who tells the truth even if it hurts. It can be a cruel person. Reverse, it can be a very difficult person to be around. Someone who's cruel, who says cruel things. I think he was getting a lot of that. I just feel like there was a lot of that around him when he moved. Cut to the chase. Negative is a pretty nasty person. Okay, the next card we have is the Eight of Swords. This is a person who feels trapped. They're blindfolded. They feel like they're trapped in a situation and there's no way out. They can't get out. They can't help themselves. They can. Everyone always can. But I think that's how he felt. He felt like he was trapped. This woman, I think he was really lonely, and I think she took advantage of him. I think that he missed his family. I think he'd been in Arizona for 2 years. I'm not sure about that. It was not that far from home, but he didn't have his security system around him that he'd been relying on. I'm not so sure people were kind to him. Then we have the Seven of Cups. This card is somebody who, and it's upright, has a lot of choices. A lot of choices out there, but most of them are fantasies, and there's a lot of bad choices. I think he made some bad choices. I think he met some people that were very negative to him, and also some people that weren't very good for him. Then we have Page of Wands, and it's reversed. The Page of Wands is a younger man, someone who's fiery, full of life, can be a little sneaky, someone who's not real reliable. Reversed, it can be somebody that you really don't want to be around. Then we have the Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is someone who's planted some seeds. Pentacles usually mean money. It can mean a job. It can mean any kind of a business you've started. But they're kind of at the reevaluation stage. They're looking at the coins. They're looking at the fruits of what they've planted. They may not be happy with it. It is about money. I think he was also having money problems. He had a part-time job delivering. I don't know if his geology job was part-time or not, but I think he needed money. I think there was a money problem. And then we have strength reversed. A lot of reversals. The strength card is pretty straightforward. It's just what it says. It's being strong. It's somebody who believes in themselves, who's built up themselves, who's strong, doesn't let things get to them. Reversed, I think, was how he was feeling. I think he felt weak. I think he felt hopeless. I think he tried really hard, but it just wasn't to be. And then we have the Ten of Wands in reverse again. The Ten of Wands is a heavy, heavy burden. It's someone who almost can't go on. This is a really depressing, negative reading, but I think that's how Daniel felt. I think he felt like he was at the end of his rope. I want to use a different deck. This is really sad. This is someone who had a lot of promise. I don't know what happened with this woman. The only information we have are the stories that we've heard, the tales she's told, tales the newspaper has reported, his father, whatever his father has put out there. But we haven't heard from Daniel. I think these cards are speaking really strongly for Daniel. I think he felt hopeless. I think he tried really hard. He had money problems. He had problems with this woman. And it just wasn't happening for him. And at 24, wow, I think he was feeling like there was no way out. At his age, I think this one was up right. At his age, 24, a lot of people feel like there's no future. They don't see that there's options. They don't see that there's more things out there, that things will get better. And he should have probably tried to relocate or reached out for help, something, but he didn't. He didn't want to seem weak. I think being strong was important with his upbringing. I think his father raised him to be strong and not to let his handicap stop him, which was the right thing to do, but you also have to be aware that you're dealing out there in the world, you're dealing with a lot of negative people. I see it reversal right here, but I'm not sure which one it is. All right, there it is. It's sad. This is a really depressing reading, to be honest, and I think he was terribly depressed. I think when he met this woman, I think he thought she was the answer to his dreams. He was lonely. He was sad. He wanted someone to be with him. He'd always had someone with him, I think, with his family. And he was taken in by her, and I think she told him things that weren't really true. She led him on. And there were even reports that he was stalking her, which I'm not sure if that's true. I get more of a feeling that he just couldn't believe that she had done that to him. All right. Here we have the Seven of Swords. There you are again, Daniel, standing there, fighting off everything, fighting off the fire, doing everything you can to stand your ground. This is someone, also this shows jealousy, and maybe some of his co-workers weren't so nice to him. This is somebody coming after you. I just wonder if that woman caused problems for him at his job. She might have, I don't know if she reported him to the police, I heard that, whether that was true. I just have my doubts that he was stalking her. I think he just couldn't believe what was going on. And then we have the Nine of Swords reversed. This is the Nightmare card. This card is not believing what's going on, having nightmares. It pretty well speaks for itself. Reversed, it's even worse. It's a hopeless card. It could be that your nightmares are true. And sometimes this card means that things aren't as bad as you think. The nightmares really aren't bad. They're all in your mind, or at least some of them are. But reversed, it's almost like it's hopeless. A lot of hopeless cards. Okay, then we have, wow, that's a pretty negative card. This is the Knight of Swords. There she is. This woman, it's almost like she's haunting him, a demon. It's like she's playing with him, doing mind games. Can you see that? Playing with him. This is his house, and she's doing almost magic. I almost feel like there's some kind of magic involved. It could be drugs. There could be some kind of drugs involved that she introduced him to. I kind of get that feeling that she's a real dark angel. There she is. Don't know her. I don't even know for sure what her name is. This is the Knight of Cups. This shows an angel into the sky with the birds, butterflies. I think this is Daniel. I think he's finally found peace. This card comes up a lot. This card came up in my Kurt Cobain readings. A lot of these cards did. Okay, then we have the Ace. Wow. This is the Ace of Wands. This is also upside down. This is the start of a new life. This is hope. This is a new beginning, an offering. And there we have it reversed again. There's no hope, no new life, no new offering. Three of Wands. This is actually somebody working with two other people. It doesn't show that on this card, but it's usually waiting for your results. It could be two or three people involved. This is him waiting. He's waiting for the fruits of his labor, waiting for the hard work to pay off. But it didn't seem to ever happen for him. Then we have the Judgment card reversed. The Judgment card reversed is interesting. It means that it's a day of reckoning, that your hard work, what you did with your life, all the good things in your life, all the bad things in your life, are going to come to light, and it's going to be out in the open. But this was reversed. Here again, he tried, he was doing good things, he was a good person, but it wasn't coming out, it wasn't paying off. Wow. All right, we'll do a few more. I'd like to know what happened with his Jeep. Where did he go? What happened to him? His Jeep was found wrecked. It had rolled over. He had been at his job site, according to reports. We can only go on what people are telling us. He was upset and he drove off. He drove only about 3 or 4 miles. At least that was where they found his Jeep. It was in a ravine. It had rolled over and crashed. The airbags had deployed. His seatbelt had been on. His clothes were there. His wallet, his phone, the keys, but there was no Daniel. Let me see what happened at the site of the job site, and then what happened when he drove away. I don't see that in here. I know he was very upset. I get the feeling he felt hopeless. I don't know if drugs were involved. I kind of feel like he might have been on something. I think he did smoke marijuana. Who knows what was in it? There's all kinds of things in drugs and pills now, and I think he might have turned to that for relief, and I think it affected his judgment. What happened at his side of his Jeep, the last known situation where he was? What happened? That would have been the last place that anyone would have seen him. I don't know if anybody saw him there, but I think he drove there. I think he was in tears. I think he was devastated. I think he felt hopeless. I think he was also taking the blame for what had happened to him. We have the Four of Wands. This is building something. It's kind of a sinister card, building something. I think he was trying. I think he did build something, but I think someone tore it down. I think he had problems at work. I think he had problems with money. Then we have the Five of Wands. This is quarreling with people. This is not getting along with people. I think there was a lot of turmoil in his life. Then we have the Eight of Wands. Lots of wands. Wands are fire signs. The Eight of Wands is a swift message. I think the day he left, his people at his job site said that he'd been very upset, acting strange. Maybe he got some kind of devastating message that it was just the final straw. And then we have the Four of Cups. This is a person that isn't happy with what they have. They don't want anything. Everything in this reading reads to me like he was at the end of his rope. The Two of Wands, lots of wands. The Two of Wands is there again. It's come up twice, trying to make a decision between two things. Was it making a decision between life and death? Was it making a decision between someone, two people? I'm not getting any answers about this. Well, then we have the Empress card, Major Arcana number 2. This is someone who knows everything. She's also known as the High Priestess. She knows all the answers, but she doesn't tell. They're secrets. I think Daniel kept secrets to himself. I think nobody really knew how he felt until the very end. I think he blamed himself. I don't know what happened at the job site. I'm really not getting clear answers. Pull a few more cards. What happened? What happened when after his Jeep rolled over? What happened to him? Why did he just leave everything like he did? Why were his clothes laying there? Why were his keys there? His cell phone. He said he tried to start the Jeep, and I believe it was him, several times. 40 times, they said. I'm not so sure after a Jeep rollover like that, a crash, that those black boxes are that accurate. Some people say they are, some say they aren't. Maybe we'll get a few more answers here. More reversals. Wow, the Knight of Pentacles. That just shows someone really dark. Reversed again. The owls, the darkness. All I see is darkness in this reading. There's no positive cards at all. Then we have the Four of Swords. This is someone, I don't know if you can see that, the hands reaching for him. It's almost like the Nightmare card again. This is how he felt. I get the feeling that he hit his head when his Jeep rolled over, and I do believe he was driving. That he wasn't, I think he was injured. And I think he also, just from these cards, I think he had been doing some kind of drugs. Maybe for relief. The Four of Swords reversed is someone, well, the Four of Swords upright is someone that needs rest. They just want to get away. Reversed, it's almost like a death card. It's walking away, just going away, getting away from everything, not being around anything anymore. I can't take it. Well, we've got the Knight of Wands. Wow. There she is, riding away on her horse into the dream. I think he walked away. I think it's not clear in this reading, and I may have to do another one, but I think he drove off into the desert. I think he'd been crying. I see tears. I see tears between the women and the job and the problems with people, money problems, hopelessness. I think he felt like it was the end of the world. I think he drove off. I don't think he was speeding. I think he hit a gully. I think he'd been crying. I think his Jeep turned over. A few more cards. His Jeep turned over. I think he hit his head. I just feel that. I don't know why that came to me, but that's what I think. And I think he wasn't thinking right. He was under the influence of drugs. Wow. There's the Six of Wands. This is supposed to be a celebration. This was what his life was supposed to be, a celebration, but it shows someone riding away on a dark horse, coming in, taking the treasure, which could have been the woman that stole his heart, basically, and riding off on the dark horse. It's all about his situation with her. It started everything. It started the downward slide. Then we have the Knight of Swords. There's the Knight of Swords. He's upright. He's swooping in. He's basically not a very nice person. It's truth. This is truth. I think Daniel saw that the truth was, in his mind, basically the end of his world. He's only 24, and I think a lot of people that age see no future sometimes. We have the Two of Cups. This was love. He wanted the love. He wanted someone. He wanted a family. He wanted to be cherished. And it just wasn't to be. There's the Magician. The Magician is the number 1 arcana card. It says that it's a card of manifestation. It's that you can have whatever you want. You have everything. And I think he believed that when he moved to Arizona. But it didn't happen for him. He didn't get the girl. He didn't get the money. I don't think he was happy with his job. And I think it was to him the end of his world. And this is the last card, I think. Now we have one more. Oh, here we go. Wow. This is everything. Everything is the same thing. There's the Tower card. That's basically the end of your world. It's a major catastrophe. It's come crashing down. You're going to have to totally rebuild all your life, your hopes, your dreams. They're gone. This is how he felt. This whole reading is like that. And it finishes up with the Ten of Swords. It's basically being stabbed in the back, overkill. But it does, the Ten of Swords is an interesting card. It does show that there is a sunset and then there's a sunrise. And I believe it was a sunrise. I think he walked off. I think he was walking away from all the negativity, all the pain. He might have been, I think he was injured. I think he hit his head. That's what I feel. And I think his mind at that point was just dark. He couldn't deal with it anymore. He felt stabbed in the back 10 times over. And I think he walked away to something better. I don't think he actually was walking away from his Jeep and his life. I think he was walking toward something better. I'm going to stop the reading here. This was a really negative reading, but I think it showed his state of mind. They found the Jeep, and they haven't found him. If he did walk off, it was very hot. He was dealing with, I think, an injury. I think possibly on some kind of drugs, and I don't even know if that was his own doing. There could have been something, synthetic pot or something in the marijuana, or someone could have slipped something to him. But he was walking away from the horror of what his life had been in his mind to something better. And I actually think he was walking towards something. Anyway, I'm going to end the reading here. I'm going to close the circle now, and I guess we'll see you next time.